Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the secrets tucked away in corporate filings. And today we're diving into American Eagle Outfitters, a name many of you know and love for their fashion. But what's really going on under the hood financially? Let's peek behind the curtain of their latest report to see if the numbers match the style. So what we have here is a current report filed by American Eagle Outfitters Inc., a standard filing used to quickly share important news with investors. It's like getting a timely update from your favorite brand about something significant they want you to know right away. The key date here is September 3rd, 2025. This report is all about events and information released on or around that day. Think of it as the official timestamp for the news we're about to discuss. This tells us the company we're focusing on is American Eagle Outfitters, the same company that operates brands like American Eagle and Aerie, which many of us are familiar with. Here we see that American Eagle Outfitters is incorporated in Delaware. This is pretty common for many large US companies. They set up their legal structure in Delaware because it has well-established corporate laws that many businesses find favorable. This number is the company's commission file number. It's like their unique identification code with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, the government body that oversees public companies and their financial reporting. It helps make sure all the right documents are filed under the correct company. American Eagle's principal executive offices are located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where the main decisions and operations are managed from. This is the company's main phone number, though honestly for big companies like this, direct calls aren't usually the best way to get official information. This section indicates if the company had a different name or a different main address before. If it says not applicable, it means there haven't been any recent major changes in their corporate identity or location that needed to be reported this way. This form also asks if the company is making this filing to comply with certain rules about written communications or soliciting material. It's like a checkbox to make sure they're following all the correct procedures when sharing information with investors and the public. Here we see their main stock registered for trading. This is the common stock that you and I can buy and sell on the stock market. This is the ticker symbol for American Eagle Outfitters on the stock market. This three-letter code, AEO, is how you'll find their stock price and trading information. It's their unique stock market shorthand. This tells us where their stock is primarily traded. The New York Stock Exchange, or NYSE, is one of the biggest and most well-known stock exchanges in the world. It means the company is listed and available for public trading there. The form also asks a couple of questions about whether the company is an emerging growth company or if they're choosing to delay adopting new accounting rules. Nothing to report here with a check mark, so they are not an emerging growth company and are on the standard timeline for accounting standards. Now we get into the meat of the report. Item 2.02 is where companies announce their financial results and business conditions. Essentially, this part tells us how the company is performing financially. This is the core piece of information. The company released a press release on September 3rd, 2025 to talk about their financial results for the second quarter of their fiscal year, which ended on August 2nd, 2025. This press release is the actual document that contains the detailed financial numbers and commentary that investors are really interested in. This line is important. It means that the actual press release with all the financial details is included as an attachment to this filing. Think of it as the appendix that has all the juicy financial data we want to analyze. The report typically includes a disclaimer stating that the information provided shouldn't be considered permanently filed with the SEC for certain legal purposes. It's a way for companies to share earnings announcements without automatically triggering stricter liability rules that apply to other types of filings, like the annual 10K report. They're basically saying this is information for investors to see now, but it's not technically part of our long-term official record in the same way. This is a standard legal statement. Companies have to tell you that when they talk about future expectations, plans, or potential outcomes, they're making what are called forward-looking statements. They're saying that these forward-looking statements are based on what their management believes today, but that things could change because of various risks and uncertainties. They're essentially giving a heads up that the future might not turn out exactly as they predict. This is the crucial part. They're warning you that what they say about the future might not actually happen sometimes. Things change and the actual results can be very different from these predictions. To understand what those risks and uncertainties are, they're directing you to look at their more detailed annual reports called 10Ks and other quarterly reports called 10Qs. These documents contain more in-depth discussions about potential challenges and things that could affect their business, like economic downturns, competition, or changes in consumer behavior. They're also stating that they don't promise to update these future predictions if something new happens after they release the report. So if a new economic event occurs, they aren't obligated to change their earlier forward-looking statements immediately. This last item is all about the exhibits, basically the supporting documents filed with the report. This column lists the identifying number for each attached document. And this column tells you what each document is. For instance, we see the press release that was mentioned earlier. This is the exhibit number for the press release dated September 3rd, 2025. This is where you'd find the actual earnings announcement with all the financial figures. This refers to the cover page interactive data file. It's often embedded in the document now in a format called inline XBRL, which makes it easier for computers to read and process the financial information. This allows for easier data analysis and comparison. Now let's dive into the press release itself. Exhibit 99.1 to pull out the most important financial information for American Eagle Outfitters for their second quarter ended August 20, 2025. The company reported total net revenue of $1.27 billion. This is how much money they brought in from sales before accounting for returns or discounts. This is a solid number reflecting the ongoing demand for their brands, especially with the continued strength of Aerie. When we adjust for a few things like changes to their loyalty program and the fact that the previous year had an extra week in the quarter, their comparable sales, which means sales at stores open for at least a year actually went up by 5%. This indicates that their core business is growing, not just expanding by having more stores open. The American Eagle brand itself saw comparable sales grow by 2%. This shows healthy core performance for their flagship brand. Aerie continued its impressive performance with a 6% increase in comparable sales. This brand is clearly resonating strongly with consumers and driving significant growth for the company. Gross profit came in at $388 million. This is the revenue left after deducting the cost of the goods sold, like the materials and labor to make their apparel. The gross profit margin was 32.1%. This means for every dollar of sales, 32.1 cents are left to cover operating expenses, marketing, and profit. A slight increase here means they're managing their costs effectively in production or have some pricing power. Selling general and administrative expenses, or SG&A, were $317 million. This covers everything else needed to run the business, like salaries, rent, marketing, and administrative costs. Income before income taxes was $62 million. This is the profit the company made before paying its taxes. Operating income was $64 million. This gives us a look at the profitability from their main business operations before considering interest and taxes. Net income was $43 million. This is the bottom line, the profit remaining after all expenses, including taxes, have been paid. Earnings per share, or EPS, was $0.25. This is the net income divided by the number of outstanding shares, a key metric for investors to gauge profitability on a per share basis. Looking at these numbers, American Eagle Outfitters seems to be navigating the current retail landscape quite well. The continued strength in Aerie is a significant positive sign, demonstrating their ability to adapt to changing consumer preferences. A 5% increase in comparable sales with a healthy 2% growth in the core American Eagle brand shows a well-rounded performance. However, the retail sector is always subject to shifts in consumer spending and competition. While their gross margins are holding steady, it's important to keep an eye on any increasing inventory or promotional costs that could impact those figures in the future. Overall, American Eagle Outfitters is showing resilience and strategic growth, especially powered by the Aerie brand. The company appears to be effectively managing its operations and adapting to market trends. Alright, that's our breakdown of American Eagle Outfitters' latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what do they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. We have some great conversations happening there too. Thanks for watching. See you next time.